guys. Subscribe to the channel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah! The Cowboys win it! Woo!
Back to the YouTube channel. I'm Nick from Australia. Welcome to the NRL 2022 mid-season review. And to help me review what we've all seen so far from 2022, we're at the halfway mark, so we're going to do a little bit of a mid-season review on all the teams and some of the players. And to help me review the season so far is the great ProEnzo Vidz, Mr. 2K over there. ProEnzo Vidz, how are you, brother?
Yeah, bro. Going great, actually. Been a good week. And, yeah, this is going to be good going through all the teams and reviewing how they've gone mid-season because we're at that point now. So, yeah, it should be fun.
Well, obviously, round 14 is next week, and there's only 25 rounds in the season. So I thought at the end of round 13, that's pretty much about the halfway mark. So it makes sense. I do apologize. I still have the flu. I've still got a cough, and my throat is still a little bit sore. So bear with me if I do tend to stuff up a little bit during the show. I'm still not 100%, but hopefully this Coca-Cola here will do the job.
Yeah,
always good to it always gets you through it. But ProEnzo Vidz, mate. Before we get into the mid-season review and all the teams, I just want to ask you this question, mate. What have you made of the season so far? You know, the refereeing and the way the game's played nowadays. What have you made of the year so far?
With the refereeing, I think it's been a lot better compared to last year with all the 6 agains and the amount of penalties we had in the sim bins and centos. I think it's definitely improved. There's not as much happening this year. Yeah, there's still those silly calls and stupid ones that should not be happening, but that happens every year, unfortunately. So, I think looking back at it, it's been a good season so far. Plenty of good games, and it's been Magic Round was a success. A big round like that was really well compared to last year too.
It was.
So, no, I think it's been a good season in general. I think it's been a really good season. I think that despite some errors, little ones, it's been good.
Well, look, I've spoken about this a number of times now. I actually feel sorry for the referees. They've got a tougher job than the players. They've got a microphone in their ear from the bunker. They've got the microphone in their ear from the 2 touch judges. You've got the crowd annoying you in the background. You've got the players that are always in your ears telling you, "Oh, sir, he was offside. Sir, he's obstructed me on the inside." And look, the referees they've got a tough job, just like the players do. So you can't blame the referees too much, and it's very hard when you've got them all in your ear all the time. But I think the football's been good this year. I think it's been entertaining. It's been exciting. I wish they would fix the obstruction rule. I'm so sick of that rule. That they really need to sort that rule out. But overall, I think it's been a really good year so far for the NRL, and it's been a great season so far. But before we get into the first team, we're going to have a look at the live chat. I see we've got Jason Radio in the chat. Hello, Jason. Hello, Yit Boy, Electrical Dust, Jack, D, Penrith Panthers fan, Aussie Mozzie, CJ Moxley's here. Luke, Melbourne Storm fan. Hello, everyone in the live chat. I hope you guys are all doing well on this beautiful Sunday night, June 5th, 2022. It's now winter. It is fucking freezing cold. But ProEnzo Vidz, we're going to do it in order. We're going to go from the bottom to the top. And hello, Jack Dempsey in the chat. Hope you're well, my friend. Hope you're doing well. So we're going to start from the bottom teams, and we're going to make our way up to the top. And we're going to start off with the team that's currently in 16th place on the NRL ladder, and that is the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. The poor old Bulldogs, ProEnzo Vidz, they are 2 wins, 11 losses to start season 2022. Mate, what have you made of the Bulldogs so far?
Look, there's a lot of things I can sum it up as, but if I was to really give you a quick description of them, they've been putrid, they've been shocking, and horrible. With signing Matt Burton in the off-season, Addo Carr, Vaughan, Duffy, Pango Jr., Naden, but he quit the club, so that doesn't really matter now. But, they've done so much. they've done so much to the squad in the off season by changing, players and who stays, who goes, and they still are in the same position as what they were this time last year, 16th, about 2 wins or 1 win only, and they are really struggling, and I don't get what the issue is. I mean, they would have improved dramatically, or you would have thought with all the new signings that gone and the squad how they improved it, but nothing's happened, nothing's changed, and they seem to struggle to still score points. They still struggle to have a dominant number 7 and a real fullback, but Duffy is shooting in and out of games, and the hooker Marshall King's not going to get you anywhere either. So they still while the forward pack may look all right, the spine is a bit of a worry, I'd say as well. The only one making an effort's Burton, I'd say, every week, and other than him, there's no one else really going forward from them. So it's been a bad season.
It's been a bad year for the Bulldogs, and look, I don't want to spend too much longer on the Bulldogs because they're a team that needs a lot of improvement. Obviously, next year they get Reid Money and William Kikau, which will make them a bit better, but how much better will they get with just those two additions? Who knows? But, at the start of the year, they had Avrillo at halfback. They had Brendan Wakeham at halfback. They had someone else play halfback. They've had Dufty, supposed to be that fullback. He's going to Warrington next year. Marshall King's inconsistent. Matt Burton needs help. Addo Carr can't get the ball. Vaughan, Thompson try hard every week in the middle. You can see that every week. Those two always give it a fair dinkum crack, but there's no creativity in the Bulldogs. They've lost their coach, Trent Barrett. He's gone. They now don't have a coach for the rest of the season. It's been a tough year for the Bulldogs. And you know what's fucked? Round 1, that they beat the Cowboys, and then after that they had competitive games with Brisbane, Manly. They beat the Roosters. They lost to Canberra and Newcastle in close games. Lost to the Dragons in a close one. They've been competitive in some games, but like you said, no real halfback. Kyle Flanagan is not a consistent NRL halfback, and things just aren't going to get better for him. But probably, I'm just going to ask you this one last question on the Bulldogs. Will they be able to avoid the bottom 4 come season's end? Yes or no?
I reckon no. I think they've definitely locked themselves in the bottom 4 spot. I can't see them being above 13th. They're not good enough, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm with you. The Bulldogs will be bottom 4 come season's end, but let's just hope that the Bulldogs can improve, because we were at Belmore ProEnzo a few weeks ago for Bulldogs Dragons, and the fans out there are very passionate. They always seem to turn out, but at the moment things aren't good for the Dogs, and let's just hope they can improve. But we'll move on to the team that's in 15th place, and that is my most hated team, the Gold Coast Titans. Oh my God. They are 3 wins and 10 losses to start the year. The Gold Coast are an embarrassment. They are a joke. ProEnzo, Vidz, why are the Titans going so bad? They made the finals last year.
Well, I tell you what, I said this in the off-season. I think when you get rid of your most experienced half, and when you don't really notice the risks of losing your main halfback, and I guess putting a rookie in there like Toby Sexton, who I don't want to criticize him already, but he wasn't good for the Burleigh Bears in the reserve grade. He struggled there too. So it's kind of hard for someone that hasn't made a real impact in reserve grade going into first grade and do so much. But look, he has shown some things in first grade, Sexton, but he's a long way. Well, not a long way, but he's a fair bit away from being a real consistent halfback. So they fucked themselves there. But look, as for the team in general, they still lack so many points. They score. They can score points, but they do lack it sometimes as well when they're under pressure. They can't defend. Yeah, they leak. They're like one of the teams that leak the most points every week, and I think that's not good enough for a side that made the top 8 last year. So, what Holbrook has to do now, I'm not sure, but they need a better defensive structure, and they need they need a real good hooker as well. I believe Aaron Clark's solid, but he's not going to take it to the next level. But well, and I don't like Brimson at 5'8". Personally, I don't like Brimson there. I don't think he's a 5'8". I think he's a fullback. He'd benefit going to a team like Dolphins maybe that would need a fullback. I don't know, but I think the Titans the roster's a bit unbalanced too, I believe, and they spend the money on the wrong players. They're fucked and they're not making the 8.
No, they're gone, bro. I'm with you. Look, 3-10, disappointing start to the year. And you know what's fucked? Round 1, competitive. Round 2, they win. Round 3, they lead by 22 and get run down. Round 4, they win the worst game I've ever seen in my life. Competitive against Parramatta and Manly. Get flogged by the Cowboys and Penrith and the Roosters. Beat the Dragons because of a knock-on, which a magic round. Lose to the Gold Coast. Lose to the Sharks, sorry. Lead by 20 against Brisbane, get run down. And on the weekend, they had 6-0 against the Cowboys and got beat 32-6, which I was at that game, and I had a lot of fun. But they just don't have any depth in the halves. So who goes to halfback if Toby Sexton was out for 3 weeks? Tanner Boyd? I mean, they've got no depth. There's no depth. The back line is shit. Patrick Herbert, not good. Not a good player. I love Jaden Campbell. Keep him at fullback, but then you can't have AJ Brimson at 5'8" because defensively he gets caught out too much and he just doesn't have what it takes to be a consistent 5'8" as well. And the hooker position is a worry with Aaron Clark. He's too inconsistent as well. So, look, I think the Gold Coast, a record of 3-10 to start the year, I can't see them improving. I think they're bound to finish in the bottom 4, ProEnzo. Can they avoid bottom 4? Because, to be honest with you, I reckon they're definitely bottom 4 bound.
Look, I think they might finish between 14 to 12. Like, they might be lucky to finish 12, I'd say, to just avoid it. But
go on then. Give us the prediction right now. Will they finish bottom 4 or will they avoid bottom 4? What do you reckon?
They'll finish bottom 4. Bottom 4.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, they'll finish bottom 4 as well. Mate, anything else on the Gold Coast? Obviously, Holbrook has a lot to work with here, but obviously next year they're getting Kieran Foran, which would be good for them, I guess, for experience-wise. But anything else you want to touch on with the Gold Coast?
I'm just going to say that they should be doing a lot better with what they produced last year. Let's put it that way.
Last thing I'll say about the Gold Coast, they need to learn how to fucking tackle, defend better, and scramble better. That's all I need to do. And just get better. Fuck me. That can't be any worse. This is terrible for the Gold Coast. And, look, obviously I hate the Gold Coast, but fuck me, man. Some of the efforts I've shown this year have been diabolical. So, Gold Coast, I think they'll finish bottom 4 as well. I can't see them avoiding it. All right, let's go to the next team. Currently in 14th spot on the ladder, the West Tigers, ProEnzo Vidz. West Tigers, they are 3-9 to start the year. Again, not a good start for them as well. What have you made of the West Tigers so far?
Well, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Put it that way. I'm not surprised with the way they're going, where they are right now. They don't have a really good team. Put it that way. They don't have a real hooker. They don't have an established halves pairing. I mean, Hastings is the only good half in that team, I'd say, but they don't have that proper player to play beside him. In my opinion, Brooke is not the answer. Adam Dewey, I don't know about Dewey either, to be honest. But they just don't gel properly. I don't get what the issue is. They've got culture issues. They've got backroom issues. They've got player issues. Players on the wrong money. Too many players, just walking out the club. Look, they have a lot of issues, and they're a long way away from success, in my opinion. With Michael Maguire, the uncertainty around him, if he's going to be the coach next year or for the remainder of the year, that's going to divide the players, I think, as well. And not knowing that your coach, if he's going to continue being the actual person in charge there. So, I don't know. They're a really messy club, and they don't surprise me where they are right now. They've got too many issues. I don't know why some people think the Tigers make the top 8 this year, because I saw some predictions earlier in the season. They had Tigers in the 8. I thought pretty stupid, if I'm being honest, because they had too many issues coming into this season, I believe still. The forward pack's not strong enough. The back line is too inexperienced and has too many fringe first-grade players there. Until they get maybe a quality centre, better wingers, and maybe a marquee forward that kind of leads the pack, they're not going to really achieve much. So, yeah, I'm not surprised at the Tigers.
I agree with some of what you said, not all of it. I mean, with the back line, I like their back line. Problem is, They haven't
Yeah.
all been fit. I mean, I've got Dane Laurie, who's now back. He's a very exciting fullback. Not Faluma's a good winger when he's fit. Mamalo's been probably their best outside back all year. Mamalo's been awesome. I'm loving Ken Mamalo so far this year.
Yeah.
Oliver Gildard, love him. Obviously, he's had a few injuries here and there. He's been pretty solid in the games that he has played. Tommy Talau's been injured. Adam Dewey's been injured. They've had a couple of other players like Junior Poggle go in. Obviously, they've got Brent Naden there now, which I think he might keep his spot in that centre position. I think Naden and Gildard would be a good centre pairing for the West Tigers.
Should.
I agree with you with the forward pack. They are missing a marquee forward. Offering Gowie at 13, it's got to go. He needs to be in the front row if you're going to play him. He's been pretty good for him this year, in my opinion, offering Gowie, but he's a front row. You need that ball playing 13. You look at clubs like Penrith and clubs like Souths, and all these teams that are going well got great locks. Penrith, Isaiah Yeo, Cowboys, Ruben Cotter, Souths, Cameron Murray, Roosters, Victor Radley. All these sort of ball playing locks. Tigers don't have that. Tyrone Peachy was meant to be that, but for some reason he hasn't really been playing lock.
Yeah.
And they have had a few nice wins. ProEnzo, obviously that win on what was it? Easter Monday against Parramatta, Jackson Hastings field goal. That was an incredible moment. And then they beat the South by 1 point there, and they had a win over the Dogs. So they've been competitive. I mean, they should have beat the Gold Coast back in round 4. Should have beat the Warriors in round 2. Competitive with Melbourne in round 1. They have shown signs of improvement. And look, I know they are 3-9, but I think they're a lot better than that. And I'll be honest with you, I reckon the Tigers will improve as the year goes on. I reckon they will avoid bottom 4. I reckon they will actually get better as the year goes on. But I think it might be a coaching thing, maybe a Maguire thing, maybe Jacob Little. Is he the right hooker? Probably not. AP Coruscant's going there next year. Excuse me. I know you don't reckon that they're, obviously they're not a top 8 team right now, but I don't reckon they're too far away, bro.
Look, I disagree. I think they're a couple of years away. I think they're not really set in the squad, and their team doesn't look like it's going to compete with other better teams, in my opinion. But I could be wrong. Could be wrong to get it right.
Yeah. All right. Last question on the West Tigers, bro. Will they avoid bottom 4, or will they be in the bottom 4?
No, they'll be bottom 4.
All right. I'm disagreeing with you, bro. I reckon they'll finish about 12th. I reckon they'll avoid the bottom 4. Hopefully they do.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to the next team. Now, this team is currently in the bottom 4 in 13th place, and that is the Newcastle Knights. They have 4 wins and 8 losses to start season 2022. ProEnzo, what have you made of Newcastle start the year? They were 2-0 to start the year, and then they fell off the cliff.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. They were 2-0, and things look good for Newcastle. And heading into that Penrith game, I feel like their season changed after the Mitch Barnett hit on Chris Smith in round 3. And I tipped Newcastle for that game too because Penrith had players out. But no, ever since that loss, I think they've really fallen down quite a bit. And I don't know. I feel like there's a couple of issues there. The Ponga contract with the Dolphins, all that talk and rumor, I think that's really affected the squad. The uncertainty. But like it's hard to really know what the issue is. Like they've got a really good squad. They've got a great forward pack. The back line's not too bad. Bradman Best, Gagai's a quality centre. Ponga's usually good, but has probably had not a good season so far since ever since he's got that big contract and re-signed. Knights have barely won a game ever since. So I think there's an issue with that, and I guess the halves as well. Clifford and Clune have not been consistent. And I said this as well, without a quality halfback, you're not going to get anywhere. And I don't think Clifford or Clune are quality halves. They're just back-up or just players that do a job at best. But look, losing your captain, Jayden Brayley, doesn't make it any easier. They've got Chris Randall playing hooker. They had Phoenix Crossan playing hooker, but none of them are really top dummy halves. So it hasn't been a good year for Newcastle. And I saw this coming. I had Newcastle 15th this year, so yeah, not good. You're on mute. Can't hear you.
Technical difficulties here. My microphone decided to
That's
cut out
better.
on me. All right, we're
That's
back.
better.
Fucking microphone. All right. This is my honest opinion on Newcastle, and people can laugh all they want. I don't care. The decision to let go of Mitchell Pearce to the Catalan Dragons and to get someone like Jake Clifford to come in was a instant downgrade, and that is the reason why they are 4-8.
I
If Mitchell
agree.
Pearce is in this team, there is no way in the world they are 4-8. They would probably be around the top 8. They would be 7-11. They'd be fighting for the 8. They wouldn't be fucking 4-8, sitting in third 8 spot on the ladder. Hell no. The decision to let go of Mitchell Pearce to France to go over and play for Catalan Dragons was a massive mistake. And now look at them. Clifford, Clune, Crossland, Milford. I don't give a fuck who you throw in there. If any of them are going to be your dominant halfback, you are going to struggle. And this is why Newcastle are going bad. Ponga, he's all about this money, all this contract shit. Too inconsistent. Bradman Best should be a New South Wales Origin centre. Seems to get injured every fucking 3 weeks, which annoys the hell out of me. You've got Safidi brothers. You've got Clemmer, Frizzell, Barnett, Fitzgibbon. You've got quality forwards. You've got a hooker who's injured and Jaden Brayley. You've got no direction. Adam O'Brien's trying to be a fucking Craig Bellamy in the coach's box every week. I'm not surprised where Newcastle are at. I hope they can improve, but they're 4-8, and I can't see them avoiding bottom 4. I think I reckon they're definitely going to finish bottom 4 come season's end.
Yeah, no, I agree. They're not going to get any better this year, so it's already a write-off for them.
Newcastle Knights, go out and buy yourself a quality halfback, and then you might get better because they need a halfback, and I think they need some more depth as well. They need some more depth. And Mitch Barnett's leaving it in the year, and they're getting Adam Elliott. Bit of a downgrade, if you ask me.
Yeah, I agree on that too.
Let's move on from Newcastle. Hopefully they can improve, but we agree that they'll finish bottom 4 come season's end. Right, let's go to the Warriors. Oh, God. The poor old Warriors. Where do I even begin with these bastards? They are 4-9 to start the year. I know they're away from New Zealand. They're going back there in a couple of weeks. I know things have been tough for the Warriors this year, but my God. Nathan Brown, the coaching staff, they are a mess. The Warriors are currently in 12th. They're 4-9. They've been beaten by 70 on Anzac Day. They're beaten by 44 the other night where Manly had no DCE and no Tommy Turbo. They were beaten by pretty much everybody, just about. They've had a couple of nice wins here and there. But my God, ProEnzo Vidz, where do you get a rate on the fucking Warriors?
No, I think the problem is you can't get a read on the Warriors. You can't get a read on what side they are. They might be good one week, and the other week they don't turn up and they look awful. So it's very hard to even, say what kind of side they really are. I mean, with the squad they have, with Walsh, Johnston, who's been terrible this year, unfortunately. Fanua Blake, but he keeps getting injured, unfortunately. People like Egan, they do have a good squad, but I don't get what the issue is. They don't gel. They don't seem to look committed and don't really play with much heart. I guess maybe because some players who signed the Warriors only came there because they were in Australia at the time. Maybe that's why they're not playing. They're not playing as well. That they don't have their heart at the club. Good examples. You and Aiken, Matt Lodge. But I don't get it. They have a good squad. They have plenty of potential to do so many good things, but they still fail every year. They still don't change. And I think for the Warriors, their season's already done and dusted, in my opinion.
Ouch.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to go anywhere this year. Look, losing to Melbourne 70-10 was embarrassing. That was awful. Just the disrespect to the Anzacs too, like that's just not good at all.
No respect to the Diggers at all. No respect to anybody. No respect.
Yeah, and plus you can't use being away from home as another excuse because they've been away from New Zealand for a couple of years now. So you forget that excuse. So yeah, look, I don't know what's wrong with them, but they've been shit this year.
I think the Warriors' biggest problem is Nathan Brown. Nathan
Yeah,
Brown's been their biggest problem, bro. At the end of last year, the Warriors went, all right, we're gonna sign Sean Johnson back. He's gonna fix our clumsiness, our selfishness, our errors. He's gonna fix our game management. Sean Johnson's come to the club, ProEnzo Vidz, and guess what? He hasn't fixed any of them. He hasn't fixed fuck all. What? He kicked the field goal twice against the Cowboys and the Raiders. Big fucking deal. Big deal.
not good enough.
Is that all he's done? 2 good games out of what, 9, 4 and 9 or 13 or whatever, bro. I am done with the Warriors. At the start of the year, I had them as my wooden spoon. I still reckon they're a chance of wooden spoon, but it's hard to see the Bulldogs winning enough games for that to happen. But it's the NRL. You never say never, but fuck me, man. Chanel Harris-Tavares leaving at the end of the season. Ash Taylor retired. Nick Karima's already gone. They're losing all their halves. Harris-Tavares is taking a break. I mean, is he taking a break for himself, or is he taking a break because he's playing for the fucking Warriors? I don't even know after time. Matt Lodge is gone. Excuse me. Matt Lodge is gone. Ewan Aikens doesn't look committed. Ben Murdoch-Masilla's playing out of position. You've got fucking Jack Murphy starting over Eli Katoa. They can't get anything right. Everything at the Warriors right now is backwards. It's upside down. It's like a fucking Rubik's Cube. It's like you're sitting there in your room on a fucking Sunday night looking for something to do. You pull out a Rubik's Cube. You're trying to complete the Rubik's Cube. It's like the New Zealand Warriors. You don't know how to fucking win the cunt. You can't win it. Or it's like you walk into a fucking news agency. You go buy yourself one of those crosswords. You're trying to work out the crossword. It's like the Warriors. Don't even fucking know how to do it. Can't even get it right. That's the New Zealand Warriors, and I think that's what their mid-season review looks like. It's a Rubik's Cube. It's a fucking backwards fucking year as usual. 4 and 9. I'm so disappointed in the Warriors. I want them to be in the top 8. I want them to win the premiership, but fuck me. They are a fucking Rubik's Cube. They are a mess. Nathan Brown's got to go too. He needs to be gone.
Yeah, I think that's the best example. I think a Rubik's Cube that's never ending. That's the best example of the Warriors.
Yeah, it never ends. Same shit every week with the Warriors. Same shit. Last thing I'll say on the Warriors, ProEnzo Vidz. Will they avoid bottom 4? They're currently 12, so they could get in the bottom 4. Will they stay around 12, or will they be bottom 4?
I think they'll be at least 12, just outside the bottom 4. I think Walsh and I think Johnson will eventually turn around. That should be enough to take them outside the bottom 4, in my opinion.
Well, mate, you know what? I reckon Bulldogs, Titans, and Knights are bottom 4. I reckon Tigers avoid it, and I reckon Warriors are going in the bottom 4. That's what I reckon.
All right. Yep.
Like, goodbye, New Zealand Warriors. Enjoy the bottom 4, and if you're a Warriors fan, hang in there tight. I know it's tough. All right, let's move on. The Dragons. St. George Illawarra Dragons mid-season review, mate. They are currently 11th. They have 6 wins and 6 losses to start the year. They had the bye on the weekend, so a great win over the bye. A very nice win. The boys were very up for it, from what I understand. ProEnzo Dragons 6 and 6. I think this is pretty much what we all thought they would be around that 7 to 11. Not a bad start to the year for the Dragons.
Yeah, I'm not surprised on where they are. I think this is where most of us predicted, like you said, to be the Dragons around 6 and 6, around 11th, that sort of mid-range, bottom 8 sort of area. They've had some good moments. I think they've definitely had some good moments. Like they started the season all right, but I think the only issues for them are they sort of spine issues, in my opinion. Like I think their forward pack's pretty good with Molo improving every week. Seems to be going all right.
Jack
DeBellin, yep, Laurie. So they're going all right, crop of far forwards there, but it's just the spine that's an issue. Like they can't stick with a regular fullback. They can't stick with a regular 5'8", and they started with Sloan and Amon there at the start of the season, but none of them have sort of solidified their spots, to be honest. And I think, unfortunately for Sloan, I think he's copped it most, and I don't know what his confidence is like anymore. After that Titans game, Magic round, I think that's where his confidence really
Oh,
slipped. It's gone, I think, and I don't think Griffin's going to put him back in the side anytime soon. So with
I
Ramsey
felt
playing
sorry for
well,
him.
with Ramsey playing well, I don't think so. So I think the Dragons are a chance making the eight, but they still have those minor issues that I think prevent them from being a top eight side, in my opinion. But
Yeah,
overall,
look, I agree. I agree. I think you've said everything that I was going to say. They do have issues. They still have a few dramas. I like what they're doing, though, ProEnzo Vidz. I don't like what they're doing with Jack Bird. Jack Bird in the
yeah,
back row. I don't know, man. I think Jack Bird needs to be playing more on the ball. Maybe Jack Bird at 5'8", like I said, back in round fucking 1, back in the fucking trial period. Put Jack Bird at 6, see what he can do. I think he played one game at 6 already, and he wasn't too bad. But
yeah, that's right.
obviously, you've got Hunt, who's your 7. McCulloch's your 9. So those two pick themselves. Your 6, I think Amone is starting to be a bit more consistent at 6. I think he's getting better as a 5'8". I like what he can do. His ball running is very nice as well. The fullback as well. Is it Sloan? Is it Mbai? Is it
Who
Reams?
knows?
Who's your fullback? Just pick one and stick with it. Just because Sloan had a bad game at Magic doesn't mean you need to drop him for fucking 4 weeks straight. He's a very good, exciting young fullback, and he'll get better the more he plays. I like what they're doing, bro. I've got some good depth. The full pack's very good. Laurie, Molo, Sua, Sims, DeBellin, Jack Bird. You got all these sort of players as well. Josh Kerr, Tyro Fuyamano. Lots of really good forwards there at the Dragons. Again, a little bit of inconsistencies as well. You know, beat the Warriors, lose to Cronulla, lose to South, beat Newcastle, get flogged by Parramatta, beat the Roosters, beat the Tigers, lose to the Gold Coast, beat the Warriors. So I've been a bit up and down to start the year as well, but they're starting to get things going. They are looking like a decent sort of side, the Dragons. I like the direction they're going. I think Anthony Griffin's doing a good job for him, ProEnzo Vidz. Would you agree? Anthony Griffin's is doing a great job there.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's managing the roster and team as best as he can, and I think he's pretty honest with what he says about the side every week. If they lose and if they win, yeah, I don't mind him as a coach at all.
I just gotta say, the addition of Moses Suli in that left center position this year has been a great pickup. I really like the way they're using him. He's getting the ball. He's making defenders nervous on either side. So when Sully runs the ball, the centers are automatically worried. And then you got the back rower on the inside who's always a little bit concerned. And the wing is not sure whether he's coming or not. Moses Suli's causing dramas. He's having a good year, Moses Suli. I like what the Dragons are doing, ProEnzo. They are in 11th, 6-6. Question, ProEnzo. Will the Dragons make the 8 or will they just miss out? What do you reckon?
They'll just miss, in my opinion.
They'll just miss it?
Yep.
I reckon they'll sneak in.
Wow. All right.
I reckon they'll sneak in there. I like what they're doing. I'm really excited for the Dragons, and I don't think anybody will have them in their top 8, but I reckon they can sneak into that 8th position. I reckon they're a genuine chance.
Yeah, interesting.
So,
That's actually interesting.
not a bad start to the year for the Dragons, but we'll see how they go come season's end, but not a bad start for them. Righto, let's go to the Raiders. They're currently in 10th, ProEnzo Vidz. They have a record of 6 wins and 7 losses. Canberra started the year off diabolically. Won 3 in a row. Lost last week, won again today. Raiders, bro. What have you made of the Green Machine to start the year?
As what I expected, probably to be around that 8th to 10th sort of area. They are still very inconsistent. Like they might be good some games, and the other games they look complete shit. I don't know, but they do have an all right team. Like I like Papali'i, Nico Cloxted when he's fit. Xavier Savage is a real game breaking young player. Whitehead's experience and Tom Starling. So I like their team in general. Like it's a good mix of players, but they still can't play 80 minutes. They still struggle consistently every week. They don't know how to put consistent performances back to back together. Whether this is a coaching issue by Ricky, I don't know, but They since last year when they've had that really bad year in 2021, they still haven't looked like they can manage a competitive performance week in week out. So look, I don't know. Canberra to me are just too inconsistent to make the 8. I had them in the 8, but I don't know if they're gonna make it now.
Yeah, no, fair enough. They have been slow to start the year. They've been very inconsistent. Obviously, they started the year very slow and then they got going towards the end of the first half of the year. Their first 7 rounds were quite disappointing. They won round 1, lost round 2, won round 3, lose in round 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, win in round 9 and 10 and 11, lose round 12 and win today. So they have been inconsistent. I think the Raiders are going okay. I still don't believe they're a great side. I still think they're probably not even a top 8 team, but they're a lot better than what the bottom 4 currently is. They're a lot better than that bottom tier of the ladder. I think they'll finish somewhere between 8 and 12. Can't see them going any lower than 12, to be honest with you, unless they really fall off a cliff. Jack Whiten's had a terrible start to the year. He's been okay last couple of weeks. Obviously, they haven't had a halfback. They lost Fogarty. He's now back. They had Sam Williams. They had Frawley. They had Snyder. Now they've got Fogarty back, so things are starting to look a little bit better for the Raiders. Savage, some really good, exciting young players coming through there, but just very inconsistent. The Raiders are a good first half team, a terrible second half team, so they've got to try and work that out, the right balance. But Raiders have been okay to start the year, and I don't know. I don't reckon they'll make the 8 either. I reckon they'll be around 11th. I don't reckon they'll make the 8, but Ricky Stewart's got to try and get him in that top 8, because if I miss it again, there'll be question marks on him as a coach, won't there, ProEnzo?
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. If they miss back-to-back years of finals.
Yeah. But Raiders, 6 and 7, they're pretty much where everyone thought they would be, so they've been okay to start the year. But let's move on from the Raiders, and we're going to go to your boys now, Manly, the Manly Sea Eagles. They are 6 wins and 7 losses to start the year. They're currently in 9th spot on the ladder. Tommy Turbo's out for the year. Cherry Evans was out over the weekend, and they still put 44 on the Warriors, although it is the Warriors. I think ProEnzo, at the start of the year, everyone said Manly would be a top 4 side. They're definitely not a top 4 side now. But what have you made of Manly's side of the year?
Yeah, I'll try and keep it as short as possible. I won't go for too long because I can obviously say so much about the club. But look, I think we should be expecting better from Manly. I really think so. As a fan, I would have expected us to be in the top 4 by now. That's realistically what I generally thought coming to, or maybe like look at this time now. I think we should have been in the top 4. That's what I really have thought. I think just unfortunately we still struggle against the big sides. We don't really compete to a standard where we should, especially if many people predicted us being in the grand final, top 4, and in finals in general. So we need to work on just being better against bigger sides like Melbourne, Penrith, all these sides, Roosters. We don't. Yeah, I don't know. We still leak a lot of points, unfortunately. Like I think that we just our defense is a bit iffy on the edges, especially. But other than that, we've had some good moments. Some good wins, but they're not really wins that are like massive because not actually big sides we're beating. It's more mediocre sort of sides that are around the middle of the table. But you got to take what you get. But I think players like Oliver Kawhi has been a standout. He's been one of our best players all season. I think Ruben Garrick's really done really well, and I think he will get even better in the fullback role over time. Schuster Sub had a slow start to the season. Harper's had a slow start, but he's getting his confidence back. So, look, I think we can still make the 8. I think we still can, but there is a lot of question marks.
I don't mind Manly. I was a bit disappointed with the way they've started the season off ProEnzo Vidz. I thought they would be in that top 6 bracket, but obviously injuries haven't helped. And when you miss out on Tom Trbojevic, when he's out for an injury, Manly struggled to score points without him. But they are starting to learn to play without Tom, which is a good thing. They need to now because he's not coming back till next year. So, obviously they have been a bit disappointing. they still can't beat the top sides. It's something that I think needs to be addressed. I think it will be addressed when he's playing over top side. You lose to Penrith, lose to Roosters, um, lose to Cronulla even, and your record against Cronulla was very good, by the way. Losing to
Yeah,
Lemwood, but was good as well. Get flogged by Souths, who are probably what just better than you, but not by a whole lot if they are. Get flogged by Brisbane, who no one thought they'd be that good, and lose to Parramatta and Melbourne. So it seems like Manly are really, really struggling against these good sides, which is something I think needs to be addressed as well. But when you lose Tommy Turbo, it's very hard to fucking replace that and win games against top sides even without him. But
yeah.
it has been a disappointing start to the year for Manly, but it's not over yet. They can turn it around. They can still make the 8. I think they've done well to be 9th, to be honest with you. Manly should be coming bottom 4 if I got no Tom, but they're doing well without him. Doing really well without him. But I don't think they're a contender or anything now. I don't see them winning the comp or anything like that, but I think they can still make the 8.
Yeah, I think we still can, but I don't know. Not too confident.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens with Manly. It's going to be interesting to see if I do make the 8. You do play Melbourne and the Cowboys back-to-back in a couple of weeks, so that'll really test his, and they're both at Brookie, so we'll see if Manly can get a win against either of them, and then you play Roosters and Parramatta back-to-back, not at Brookvale again later in the year, so that'll really test Manly if they can beat any of those top sides, but Kawatu probably been your best player to start the year, ProEnzo. He's been good, hasn't he?
Absolutely. He's a wrecking ball, that edge. Already got 8 tries this year, I think. And yeah, he's killing it. He's a fantastic player.
The only warrior I have for Manly is the hooker position, Lachlan Croker. I know he was good the other day against the Warriors, probably his best game of the year, but fuck, man. You need to get a better hooker than Lachlan Croker. Hopefully, Seguiaro can get a run soon.
Yeah, I think Seguiaro would be a real upgrade or finery, but his bloody case has been going on forever. But I don't know. I think, I don't know, but we need better than Croker.
All right, well, quick question. Manly, will I make the 8? Yes or no?
I don't think so at the moment, unfortunately. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I do too, but I reckon I'll miss out as well. But we'll see what happens. All right. 8 more teams to review for the mid-season review. And we've just been live now for 43 minutes, so we'll try and get through these a bit quicker now. But these teams are a lot more established, and not much needs to improve with these sides. But let's get on to the team in 8th spot. They are 6-6, the Rabbitohs. Mate, I think the Rabbitohs are exactly where we all predicted them to be.
Yeah, 6-6, 8th place. Yep, I think I would have had that as well, to be honest, looking at how they're going. Yeah, we knew that Reynolds would be a big loss. We knew that it'd take time for them to really replace him properly. I think Lachlan Ilias has been all right, but
they're missing Reynolds.
But Ilias is going to take time to develop as a player, and I think he has shown potential, but it needs more games of first grade over time. Their forward pack's pretty good, but it's not like a Penrith or a Melbourne type forward pack they have.
Yep.
Their attack's pretty good. Like, their attack in the back line's pretty good. They have some sharp backs. Like, I think Cody Walker's playing really well. But he has gone missing at points as well when there's no Reynolds and no other person who can direct the team. So he does struggle under pressure when there's no direction. Latrell Mitchell been injured.
Big loss.
Blake Taft's been a good backup. So they have been all right this year, but they are still not a solidified sort of top 8 side. So, yeah, it's hard to get a read on the Souths, but they've been all right.
I reckon they're a weak team. I reckon they're a weak side at the moment. I don't reckon they're any threat to this top 8 this year. If they make it, they'll be out the first round, I reckon. I just don't see any scariness about them. I mean, Latrell's been out for a lot of the year, but even with Latrell, they were still up and down. Their attack's not as good as what it once was. Losing Reynolds, that doesn't help. Cody Walker's been very in and out of the game. Cook's been good. The 4-pack's good, but I've noticed this ProEnzo Vidz. If Burgess is out, they really struggle in the 4-pack when Tom Burgess is not playing.
Yeah, no doubt.
Jason Demetrio is still trying to learn how to get this team going on a consistent basis. I think they will make the 8, but they're probably about where we all thought they would be at the moment, 6-6, and things. It's going to be a hot and cold year for South Sydney. So, quick question on South: will they make the 8? Yes or no?
Yeah, they should.
Yeah, I reckon they will too. But that is going to work out. Is Lachlan Ilias their long-term halfback, or are they going to go to the market and buy someone? Because I look at this team and I'm going, if they go out and get a great halfback, they're probably going to be a top 4, top 6 team. Until then, they're probably going to be around where they currently are. But Souths are okay. I don't think they're a shit team, but I think they're a bit weak as well. I think they're a weak top 8 team.
That's fair enough, I reckon.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the team that's currently in 7th spot. They started the year off on fire. They've been a bit slow the last couple of weeks. The Cronulla Sutherland Sharks, with a current record of 7 wins and 5 losses. ProEnzo, what have you made of the Sharks so far this year?
Well, they've been really good. I think they've been really good this year. I mean, the start of the year was really great. How they were on a bit of a run at one point and just beating everyone and looking like they were an actual premiership threat in the opening 1 to 8 rounds. But I think the last month or so they've dropped off a bit. They have sort of dropped off in terms of momentum and just playing well. But they still play all right, but not playing at the same sort of like the sort of momentum as what they were at the start of the year. And I think that's because Nico Hines and Matt Moylan still struggle to understand each other as halves at times. Will Kennedy's kind of gone a bit missing. I'm not gonna lie. But their team's pretty strong and stable. Like their forward pack's really good with Finucane being there. McInnes has been alright, but McInnes has been everywhere, playing back for a lock.
He's playing everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, and I picked him for by the year too, so that's not good. Talakai's been fantastic this year. In the semis. He hasn't done much the last couple of weeks, but look, it's a good season so far for the Sharks. I expect them to be in the finals and top 4. I don't think so at the moment. I don't think so. Not playing well enough to be there,
mate. The Sharks at the moment, they are doing what the Cowboys and Broncos are going to do. Cowboys and Broncos are currently in the top 4 and they're playing great. The Cowboys and Broncos are both going to have a drop-off period. They're going to fall off soon. They're going to have a bit of a form slump. The Sharks are currently in a form slump. That's their problem with the Sharks. It's a confidence thing. Every single team will have a form slump at some point. It always happens. The Sharks are currently having that. I like the Sharks. I think they're a team that's on the up. Last year they came, 10th? They're currently 7th, 7-5. They've been okay to start the year, but don't want to be negative. Ever since Wade Graham's come back into that team, the Sharks have started to play worse.
Yeah, he's past it, unfortunately. Like I look at him and he looks too slow with the modern game now, and he's just past it. I think, unfortunately for him.
He looks like he walked into McDonald's before kick-off and had a big feed and went right onto the field.
Wrong.
I love him. I love Wade Graham, but fuck me, man. He's put it on and he just looks too wild and slow. It's like, I don't know. He needs to, I don't know, he needs to put the weight or something. I don't know what he needs to do, but Sharks are so inconsistent. They will go from beating Parramatta and Manly, but then they'll lose to a fucking... They got fought by the Roosters at home the other week. They lost to Canberra at Magic Round. They are inconsistent as fuck. I think they're a team that's going to be in the top 8. Probably in that between 4th and 7th, in that bracket somewhere. I think they will play finals. I'm pretty confident they will. I'll be really disappointed if they don't play finals, and I think Craig Fitzgibbon has done a great job so far for the Sharks.
Yeah, he has, especially in his first season as coach. He's done the best possible job I think we could have all expected, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, the Sharks are a team that I think they're improving. They might be a little bit overrated still at the moment, just because of who they've beaten and who they haven't beat. But I think they're a reasonable side, the Sharks, and I think they will play finals. But how far they go, I guess it's up to them. But
yeah, absolutely.
Let's move on from the Sharkies, and we're going to go to the Roosters, who are currently in 6th position on the ladder. They have a record of 7 wins and 6 losses. Mate, I think we can all sit here and say the Roosters, we all thought they would be a top 3, top 4 team. The 7-6 to start the year, bro. Slow start for the Roosters.
Very slow. I didn't expect this. I thought they'd be like a top 4 team already by this time this year. I thought they would be. I thought their record this year would be a lot more better than 7-6, yeah, 7-6, and
Yeah.
I don't think they. I think the issue is that Luke here is still getting over his ACL injury because obviously
Yeah,
an
I think
ACL
so.
is. I think coming back from ACL injury is not the most easiest thing to do because I guess that it's a really serious knee injury, so give him time, I suppose. But he needs to definitely pull his weight a bit.
How much time are you supposed to give him though? Like we're already at the
Yeah,
halfway mark now.
well, I mean that's the question, but like again, he needs to pull his weight, like I said, and that has to be soon or now. Put it that way. But no, look, the Roosters have a good squad. I like their team. I like their forward pack. Their backs are always pretty good. But if there's any issue that can really identify for that club, they just look inconsistent, like against some bigger sides, in my opinion. Like I think they do beat bigger sides sometimes, but most of the time they are inconsistent. They can't really compete with a Panthers or a Storm side. Like they can't compete to that level yet. They
Well,
used to,
they're
but
versed in Melbourne this weekend now, so we'll see how they go there. That won't be. That'll be interesting.
well, that'll give us an indication of where they're at then. But with Penrith, yeah, they are definitely a couple levels away from them. But look, the Roosters will make not top 4, but top 8. But they don't. I don't think they're going to go too far in finals.
Yeah, well, fair enough. Well, at the start of the year, I had Roosters to win the comp. I had a Roosters and Storm grand
Yeah,
final. I had Roosters to win it. I'm actually a bit worried about that now. I don't know if I can win the comp. The back line is fine. Their halves are good on paper, but they haven't really worked it out yet. Walker and Kiri, so inconsistent. I mean, 1 week they'll beat Manly, but then they'll lose to Souths. Then they'll beat the Cowboys, beat the Broncos, lose to Dragons and Bulldogs back to back, beat the Eels, lose to Penrith, and beat the Sharks. They're inconsistent. I think that's the Roosters' biggest problem, but I think the Roosters will work it out. I think they will get things going. I think they'll be in the top 6. I'm actually making a prediction right now. I reckon Roosters will finish top 4 come season's end.
yeah. Wow, could happen.
But I'm not confident in saying that. I reckon they will. I'm predicting them to finish top 4, but I'm not confident that it will happen. It depends on the Cowboys, Broncos, and Eels teams in front of them. Depends on all them. It really does. But I don't mind the Roosters at the moment. I think their 4-pack's been very good, but they just got to work things out. But they just got to work out the best 17 and the hooker position, bro. Watson, I don't think he's a hooker. Verrills, Marshke, don't know who the hell the best hooker is at the club, but next year they get Brendan Smith, so it's all sorted next year. But who plays hooker for the rest of the year, you reckon?
I'd say Verrills. I think Verrills is a very good dummy half, and they're not giving him much opportunity in that role, unfortunately. And
Yeah.
they're playing Connor Watson more there. Connor Watson's not a dummy
Drew
half.
Hutchinson as well.
Yeah, he's not a dummy half either.
He's a halfback or 5'8", but question, bro, the Roosters make the top 4 or will they just be in the top 8?
No, just top 8.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. I've got them in the top 4, but we'll see how they go. All right, team currently in 5th, the Parramatta Eels. They have a record of 8 wins and 4 losses to start the year. They started the year off very well, Parramatta. Mate, what have you made of Parramatta to start the year?
Well, it's funny with Parramatta because they've actually been really good against the bigger sides, and they've been in all of them. They've beaten Storm, they've beaten Penrith, and they've done really well in some performances this year. But they got smashed by the Cowboys, your boys, and they
Yep.
were very lucky against Manly to win that game.
Beat Penrith, lose
But
to Tigers.
they lost the Tigers. So they're inconsistent side too. They're a side that I can't trust either. Parramatta, which is why I think they're not going to win the comp because they're too inconsistent, and you need to be consistent if you want to be in the comp, win the comp, I should say. Sorry, and but look, they're a bit far away. They do have a good squad. Like I think the props are good. Pulo and
Oh yeah,
Cam Gillard get
Origin
them.
flop now.
They get the majors every week, and they're very solid. Reed Myers, great
Madison.
hooker. Yeah. And the halves of Brown, Mattis, fucking hell, Brown, Moses, they're going pretty well. But yeah, I don't know. They seem to have a bit of a mental issue when it comes to some games. Sometimes they don't often turn up.
I like what Parramatta are doing. I reckon they'll finish fifth or sixth come season's end. I don't know about top four. Depends on the Broncos and the Cowboys and Roosters, Sharks, all these teams that are around the top eight. I think what you said's right about them. They have been inconsistent against the top sides, but you got to remember as well, they have had a lot of injuries to the outside backs. Walker Blake's
Yeah,
been out. Sevo's not back until next weekend against the Bulldogs on the Queen's birthday game. Um, they've had injuries everywhere in the outside backs. Ryan Madison's been a revelation for him. In the middle, Marnie, Paulo, Moses, and Brand, they've all been very good. But like what every Parramatta fan told me at the start of the year, if we don't get past week 2, it's a failure. And I think that's a fair call. They have gone out week 2 of the finals every year. They've made it the last couple of years, and they just can't get past that next step. And if they don't get past week 2 again this year, then it's just going to be the same old shit with Parramatta. So for them, I hope they get there. I reckon they'll finish 5th or 6th. I don't reckon they'll be top 4. I wouldn't be surprised if they are top 4, but I've got them about 5th or 6th. I like what they're doing, but they just got to be a lot better against the bottom sides. That's the only concern. They've beaten Melbourne. They've beaten Parramatta. They've beaten Melbourne and Penrith, sorry. They've beaten Manly. They've beaten pretty much all the top 8 except the Roosters and Sharks. I lost to both of them. But and the Cowboys as well. I lost to them. But the problem is consistency against the other sides that are below them. That's what they're going to work on, I think.
yeah. They're going to treat the bottom sides like it's another tough game. Put it that way.
Exactly. You can't take them cheap. If you take a bottom team cheap, you'll get beat. That's how it works. I mean, look at the Bulldogs, for example. They played the Roosters, and the Roosters took them cheap and they got beat. It's what happens. It's what happens.
It's right.
All right. Let's get on to, before we move on from Parramatta, where will they finish in your opinion, bro? Will they finish top 4? Will they finish 5th or 6th? What do you reckon?
They'll just sneak in the top 4.
All right. I reckon they'll be about 5th or 6th.
Yep.
All right. Let's move on to the Broncos. They have been very good. The Broncos. They have exceeded all expectation. Brisbane are 8-4 as well to start the year. Same record as Parramatta. Currently in full spot on the ladder. They are playing great football. They're looking for 7 wins in a row this weekend against Canberra up there in Brisbane, which is going to be a big game on Saturday night. They've won their last 6, sorry. What they beat? What? Dogs, Sharks, Souths, Manly, Knights. Yeah, if they beat Canberra, it's 7 in a row. Broncos, I had them about 10th, I think, to start the year. I had them missing the 8. They're currently in the top 4, so they've surprised me. But ProEnzo, what have you made of the Broncos?
Been great. Been really good this year. I had them 6, I think. I had them 6. So definitely got my prediction right with them with where they are right now. But yeah, I think as the youngsters have been really good for them. Like I think the young players have played with a lot of confidence and are bringing a lot of excitement and a lot of energy to the side. Like Cobbo's been a revolution for them this year. Cobbo's been fantastic, and I guess players like. I guess the other players like Staggs, who's injury free as well. When he's injury free, he's a fantastic player. Just the back line, I should say as well, is pretty good with youth and experience. So it's a good mix with Reynolds and the other half. We're going blank here. Reynolds and
Gamble.
Gamble, yeah. They're going all right. T. Murray Martin's been fantastic in this fullback, I think. Just the way he's come back into the NRL this year, he's done really well, and I think he's got that fullback position locked up, to be honest. The fullback's pretty good as well. Payne Haas is obviously the leader of that pack, and then you got the back rows like Ricky and Capewell are very solid, Patrick Carrigan's been fantastic for them this year, so they've got a lot of things working in their favour for sure. To the the top four, they'll just miss it in my opinion, but they are looking good.
Well, about Tamara Martin. Tamara Martin hasn't even fucking lost a game yet since
Yeah, he
he came
hasn't.
back.
That's true.
Undefeated.
He's a good
Ever
luck.
since he came into the team, they haven't lost. They've been unbelievable since. I know he's not a fullback, but he's doing a job at fullback, playing pretty well there. So I like the Broncos at the moment. I think they're playing good football. I think Reynolds has been a great addition, one of the buys of the year so far. Cowboys playing Origin now, along with Staggs, and you got Capewell there in the back row. And I still worry about the hooker position, bro. I think they will be exposed in the hooker position and the 5 position. I'm not convinced on Tyson Gamble. I'm not convinced on Walters at 9, but they're looking better. They are playing better, and if it ain't broke, it don't need to be fixed at the moment. So Broncos are playing good football. It's good. It's good to see. Broncos are doing well.
Yeah, no
But
doubt. It's been impressive.
mate. So Broncos, you reckon they'll finish around 5th or something? Do you 5th or 6th?
I haven't fifth yet.
I reckon they'll finish about 5th or 6th as well. I don't reckon they'll be in the top 4. I reckon they'll be about 5th or 6th as well. Kevin Walters, is he a coach of the year contender at the moment?
Yeah, I think he is, but I think there's a couple of others in front of him at the moment. I think Cleary, I think Bellamy, and I think Todd Payton's in front at the moment.
Okay. I think Walters is definitely up there, though. He's definitely in the conversation for mine. He's been good, and the Broncos have been good to start the year, so they're 8-4, and I guess we'll have to wait and see how they go. They should be in the top 8 come season's end anyway. All right. 3 more teams to go. Now up to my team, the Cowboys. Wowee. Cowboys, 9-4 to start season 2022. Everyone said at the start of the year, Cowboys will win the wooden spoon. Cowboys will be bottom 4. They won't do anything. Townsend's a washed-up signing and all this other crap. And we're 9-4, sitting in third on the ladder, and we're playing great football. ProEnzo, what have you made of the Cowboys?
Yeah, well, you got me there. I hadn't a wooden spoon. I didn't give them a chance to do what they're. I didn't give them a chance to do anything this year, to be honest. But well, it goes to show you that you don't need a incredible or a top tier squad to make the top 4 in the 8. I think because their squad's it's not like it's good, but it's not like a top amazing squad. But you just got to show that if you put the work in, if you stay consistent, you work hard, then anything's possible. And that's what Todd Payton says. He says that that he expects hard work from the players every week, and for them to turn up and do so much for the preparation. And I guess all that preparation reflects in the performances so far by the Cowboys. Been great in games. Smashing Melbourne was one of the highlights so far this year. I know they had players out in Melbourne, but it doesn't matter. It's Melbourne. You smash them by 30 points. And yeah, exactly. And smashing Brisbane, your own rivals at Suncorp, was also another big thing. So they've had some really good wins. Yeah, some weird losses to the Warriors and the Bulldogs, but other than that, they've been pretty good. And Nanai's been an absolute gun for them. I think he's the future. I'm very excited to see what he does in the future. I mean, he's a great player, and players like Felt has found his best form again. Murray Talangi's improved so much. The backline looks very solid with Hiku, Hamiso, Scott Drinkwater all looking comfortable where they are. And the forwards looking all right as well. I believe the forwards are doing a great job every week. So I think the Cowboys have a very, very solid squad, and they're top 4 for mine.
I'll tell you what the Cowboys have done that's completely turned them around, bro. They have worked out the right balance. They are a really, really good, hard-working team, and they've got the right balance. They're not a team. They're not like a Melbourne or Penrith. They don't rely on Cleary so much. They don't rely on Jerome Hughes so much. The Cowboys don't rely on Townsend like he's a god. The Cowboys have a team where it's all about them. It's about the team. It's not about individuals. It's not about Dally M's. And the proof of that is in the pudding, bro. Not one Cowboys player is in the top 5 for Dally M, or even in the top 10. So the Cowboys are a team where it's a team. It's not fucking individuals. It's not about, this guy needs to get Dally M points. It's like, no, Cowboys just want to win. They don't care about Dally M points. They just want to win. And the other thing I'll say is as well, it's on the back of really hard work in defense. Now, watching teams defend games like 10-6 or, games like fucking, 18-12 might be boring for some people, but defense is what wins you comps. Defense is what wins you really important games, and that's what the Cowboys have done. Defensively, I think on stats we're the best defensive team in the comp at the moment. So we've really turned things around.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of credit needs to go to Todd Payton. I was critical of Todd Payton. I wanted him to get the sack. Well, he's made me eat my words, and I don't think he should be getting sacked anytime soon. I think the Cowboys are probably the biggest surprise team of the fucking year so far, and hopefully things can just keep getting better. 9-4. Hopefully we can make the 8.
Yeah, surprise packet team of 2022 by far.
I think so. Question: Will the Cowboys make the 8? Will they make the 4? What do you reckon, brother?
They've already made the 8. I think that's confirmed. But top 4, I think I'll make the top 4 too. So I'm confident.
I do too. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to get too confident, but I think what we've seen the first half of the year, I think the Cowboys will do enough. I think they will finish around that 4th position. I'd say 6 at worst, personally. But
Yeah.
I think Cowboys will make the 8, and, well, let's just hope they do. Now, 2 more teams to go. I don't think we'll spend much time on these two because they're all very established. Currently in second spot on the ladder with a record of 9-3. It is the Melbourne Storm. Currently in second. Not much to say here, bro. It's the same old shit with Melbourne, always in the top 2 somewhere. Are you surprised at 9-3 or not surprised?
Oh, I can't be surprised with that. I think they're doing what we all expected to be them in the top 2, competing every week, winning a lot of games and looking really comfortable this year. And I think their team is so well established and so well set. And they're well coached too by Bellamy. Bellamy is the backbone of their success, in my opinion. Without him, they could be a really different side. And I think just some players in general, like Jerome Hughes has been great for the Munsters, been really good. Pappenhausen, game-breaking player, Smith and Grant. So they've got a lot of good things going for them, and that's the sort of things that you need to win a comp, is have those sort of players that can do so much for a side, can offer a lot, and they create havoc. So they're really good, and look, their backline's always been pretty good in my opinion. Their forwards have always been pretty much solid and done a great job. So I think their team is very well balanced, and it's a team that's for years has shown success. And I think that side will definitely push very hard if Foles come the end of the season. So Melbourne, for me, go really well.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And they've only lost 3 games this year, and they were to Parramatta on the bell in Golden Point.
Yeah,
they lost to Penrith without their Hughes and Pappenhausen. They lost to the Cowboys as well. So they've lost to good teams. They haven't lost to a team that's been pretty average yet. They haven't been shocked by anybody really. I think Melbourne are a team that's probably going to stay in the top 2. Pappenhausen, Munster, Hughes, Grant, Brendan Smith. What more can you say? They're just too good. I think defensively on that right-hand side with Xavier Coates, they still got a few issues. But we all know they're going to be top 2 come season's end. And they're a contender. They're one of the teams to beat. And they've been good to start the year. It's just the same old shit with Melbourne. But last thing I'll say, Melbourne, bro, will they be top 4 or top 2? Or what do you reckon?
Top two. I have them second just behind Penrith.
I agree. I'll be top 2 as well. Not much more you can really say about Melbourne. All right, we'll go to Penrith real quick, and then we'll get on to the other things that we need to talk about. Penrith Panthers mid-season review, mate. Or as we already know, they are first on the ladder. They had 12 wins and 1 loss to start the year. They have been dominant. Mate, what have you made of Penrith start of the year? Bro, I think it's their comp to lose at the moment.
Oh, they're at another level compared to every other club in the comp. They're a very, very talented and very well put together side. I think their players like Cleary is such an important part of their success. Luai is just doing really well in terms of his defence and him following the team. Edwards has improved so much, and Coruscant is such a great dummy half. And they're a really committed squad. They're a very close group of players. They're a really talented bunch of boys, and they're a team that's going to probably win the comp at the moment. I'm just being honest. I think they're going to go back to back. It's just there's no one else I can really see winning the comp besides them at the moment. Maybe come the end of the season, you never know. Like last year with Melbourne, we all expecting them to win the comp, but look what happened.
Yeah.
So we don't know. We don't know, but they're definitely in the box seat. But yeah, no, look, they've got a good team. Their backline's so talented. Crichton and Toto and Edwards and, Taylor May and Isaac Tago have
After the
really done.
fucking New South Wales Origin team, the cunts.
Yeah, well, there's a reason, But the forward pack's good as well. So, look, Penrith, where I expected.
Yeah. No, they're doing well. They've only lost the one game, and that was against Parramatta at Penrith, which was an upset. But besides that, they've been very dominant. Dominated Manly, dominated Newcastle, destroyed South, destroyed the Dogs, destroyed Brisbane, destroyed Canberra. Who else? They destroyed the Gold Coast, Roosters. They beat the Cowboys at the game that we were at. Obviously, the Cowboys had no Tamalolo and Kyle Felt, but they were too good that night. And even on the weekend that just went, they beat the Bulldogs without even half their team not even playing. So they're just too fucking good at the moment, and it's hard to see anyone beating them at this stage. But they're just too good. But ProEnzo, will the Panthers win the minor premiership, or will they end up in second?
They'll win the minor premiership. I think they're going to win comp and the minor premiership.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. Well, there all the mid-season review teams all completed. We're going to get into the other topics real quick because my laptop's going to fucking 35%. So we'll get through these pretty quickly. ProEnzo Vidz, we're at the halfway mark. Who's the buy of the year so far?
I was going to say Nico Hines, but because he's kind of faded off a bit, I'm going to say Chad Townsend. Townsend's changed to that Cowboys club. You know it probably best. And yeah, he's led by example, brought leadership. He's brought a lot to their attack. And yeah, I think he's been a really important part to the team. So I'm going to go Townsend.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think Chad Townsend's the buy of the year as well. Everyone said he was washed up at the start of the year. Everyone thought he'd be dog shit. He's come in. Cowboys are a genuine top 4 team at the moment, and he hasn't done much wrong, has he? So I think Townsend's buy of the year, but I think Adam Reynolds is probably a close second.
Yep, agreed.
All right. Well, I think Chad Townsend is our buy of the year. Rookie of the year so far. This is tough. There's a few you could throw in this list.
I'm going to go Nanai. I think Nanai deserves it. I think it's between him or Tago, but Nanai is just he's proven to be someone that I think has a big future ahead of him, and has proven that he's a right candidate for Rookie of the Year. So Nanai for me is just
look, I'll go Jeremiah Nanai as well, but Tago has a great case. Talon May, he'd be eligible, wouldn't
he? Yeah, I think so.
There's a few of them. That are definitely up there for Rookie of the Year, but I'll go Jeremiah Nanai. I'm pretty keen. I'm pretty sure Tago is ineligible, someone says in the chat. Damn.
Oh, that's not good.
I'll go Jeremiah Nanai. I'm pretty sure he's eligible.
Yeah, he is. He should be.
All right. The disappointing team so far. This is a good one. Who do you reckon?
I'm going to go Manly. I don't want to say that, but we should be going a lot better than what we are currently going right now. We should be at least 5th, 4th, 3rd, however you want to say it. I don't know. I think Manly need to definitely improve, and they've been disappointing.
Disappointing for me? Oh, God. You know what? I'm going to go with the Gold Coast.
Yep, all right.
And the reason I'm going with the Gold Coast as the most disappointing team so far is because they made the 8 last year. They finished 8th. They went out first round, obviously. They won 10 games last year. They made the 8. I think the Titans are easily the most disappointing. They made the 8 last year, and they're currently 3-10. 15th place on the ladder. So I'm going with the
Yeah,
Broncos. That's disappointing. They have to be up there.
yeah. Well, we were in the top 4 last year, so
Yeah, good point. Yeah, but you've had Tommy Turbo out. Gold Coast have not really had many out. They've been pretty. They've had most of their team all year, and they're just shit.
yeah, well, it's
All right,
true.
surprise packet. Well, we already said it before, but Cowboys for me.
Cowboys, yeah, easy.
Cowboys are probably the surprise packet. Everyone thought at the start of the year they'd be bottom 4, wooden spoon. Nobody thought they'd be in the top 8, let alone the top 4. Everyone put a red pen for them before it even started. So Cowboys are definitely the surprise packet so far. Most improved player, ProEnzo Vidz.
Ooh, there's a couple. Some that come to mind are May, Tulangi. Um, I think Oliver Wise gets a fair mention too. I'm gonna go Mario Tulangi for the Cowboys. I think Tulangi's improved as a player. To be honest, coming to this season, I never really thought of him as a great winger. I've always thought he was just a solid one that just does a job, and when he does, but he turns one of the better wingers and informing wingers in the comp so far. Like he's just his effort every week. He puts in great effort, scores a couple of tries, and I think is my most improved player. If I'm being honest.
This is really hard to pick, man. I'm just looking at all the teams here, and I'm like, fuck, who do you pick? There's so many players that have improved a lot this year. It's really hard to just pick one because you can name about 5 or 6 of them at the moment. But I'm going to go with Ryan Madison.
Oh, yep, yep.
Ryan Madison's career looked done. It looked done and dusted. You go back and look at the Felice Kafusi incident a couple of years ago where he slammed his head on the ground with his elbow, and Madison's form was so up and down and he just couldn't get going. And this year, he's moved into that lock position, ball playing, and he's been playing so good. He's now in the New South Wales Origin team on the bench. So I'm going to go with Ryan Madison as the most improved player.
Yep, fair call.
And the final question. This is tough. We're currently at the halfway mark. This is the mid-season review. ProEnzo Vidz. What will the 2022 NRL Grand Final be? And who wins it all? Who will be premiers come season's end? At the halfway mark now, who you got? Very hard to pick, but who you got, brother? Who you got?
Well, it can go either way. Could honestly go either way. It could be Eagles can be there, Cowboys can be there. You know, those sort of sides can definitely be there. Roosters maybe. But I think if I'm being honest, and I hate to be boring for everyone that's watching right now, I think it would be a Penrith versus Storm grand final. I just think that those two are just above everyone else in so many ways, and those two are clearly the best sides in the comp. So I'm going to go them two to be in the grand final, and who wins it? I think Penrith go back to back. I think I said that before. It's their comp to lose, really.
All right. It is a boring prediction, I know. I get it. I understand where you're coming from. So fair enough. And if that is the grand final, I hope fucking both teams bash each other. Nick from Australia's grand final prediction at the start of the season was a Roosters Storm grand final with Roosters winning it. I'm not keen on that anymore, obviously. Yeah. I think Penrith are going to be there unless they get a bunch of injuries or COVID happens. I will get criticised for this, but I do not care. I believe it will be a Panthers versus Cowboys grand final.
Ooh, Panthers Cowboys, eh? Jesus, imagine
I think
that.
the Cowboys have got the right balance. I think they've got the right squad. They're young. They're ready. They're exciting. They've got players that have played there in finals games before. Experience, Tamalolo, McLean, Hess. They've got experience. Townsend's won a comp. Holmes has won a comp. They've got exciting young players like the Hammer, Tulangi, Nanai, Lukey, Griffin, Neem. Cowboys, Panthers grand final. I think it can happen. But if it does happen, I think Penrith win it again.
Yeah, fair call. It was happening, it'd be good. Yeah.
I think if we get there, Penrith will win it. Like, I want us to get there, and look, I believe we can because look at who we've beaten. We've beaten pretty much everybody that we're meant to beat. We flogged Melbourne. We flogged Brisbane. We flogged Parramatta. We've beaten all these good sides except Penrith. We've beat everybody that we've meant to beat so far. We lost to Penrith and the Roosters. That's about it in the top 8. Beat everybody else. But I don't know if we can get past Penrith. I reckon a Panthers versus Cowboys grand final, but the Panthers win it. I go back to back. Who's going to beat them? Like, seriously. Who the fuck's going to beat them? And I'm just reading the chat now, and some people are saying, oh, you won't get past week 2 and all this. It's like, if you finish top 4, you're guaranteed to be in the week 2 anyway. So it doesn't matter. But why not? Panthers Cowboys grand final, something new, something fresh. Nobody wants Melbourne Penrith grand final. Nobody wants Melbourne and fucking Roosters to be playing each other in the grand final. I wouldn't mind Penrith Roosters, Penrith Parramatta, but why not? Hell, I wouldn't even mind Broncos Cowboys again. Wouldn't that be fun?
I'd love to see that again, eh?
Go back in time travel. Why not? But I'm going with a Panthers versus Cowboys grand final because why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Fair call.
And I believe we can beat Melbourne. We already fucking did. There's no reason why we can't beat them.
Yeah.
They're not that
good, bro.
They're beatable. But ProEnzo Vidz, that's going to conclude the 2022 mid-season review, bro. We've been on here longer than I thought, but fuck me, it's been fun. And mate, thanks for taking the time out of your night to come on.
Yeah, no worries, bro. It's great coming on your channel and do videos as always. I'm pretty buggered now, but no, it's worth it. It's all right. I'm definitely enjoy doing this.
I'm buggered as well. And everyone, go and check out the ProEnzo Vidz YouTube channel. The link's in the description below. Is the Ankle Breaker podcast on tomorrow night?
Yeah, and I gotta say, tomorrow will be on, and there'll be some membership details as well. So make sure to tune in and check out that.
Well, I'll be watching for sure. I'm looking forward to watching that tomorrow night. But everyone, I hope you all have a fantastic night. I'm out of here. My ass has gone numb for sitting here for an hour and 20 minutes. But I hope you all have a fantastic night. Like, subscribe. Go subscribe to ProEnzo Vidz if you haven't already. Thanks for watching the 2022 mid-season review. Anyway, hope you all have a good night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night for my State of Origin Game 1 preview tomorrow night. Until then, have a good night, guys.